The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Who are you not looking forward to seeing tonight?
Definitely not looking forward to seeing Nasser.
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 Don't want to see Nasser. And guaranteed Nasser will be there, so that's really good. Thank you. Good.
My name is Nasser. I'm from season 5 and you best know me for my outspoken, outrageous comments.
I'm not one for swearing, but here's my French. I think he's an idiot.
Honestly, what a peanut Nasser is.
And he'll do anything for a bit of screen time or attention.
I'm like a joker, you know, and some people take it, some people can't. But you know what? Tough titties.
Kia ora, welcome along to a very special bonus edition of The Real Pod. If you haven't figured it out already, this is going to be a recap of Married at First Sight Australia reunion dinner party.
Reunion spectacular.
Welcome along, Alex Casey.
Thank you, Jane. Lovely to be here.
No Duncan today because busy.
Busy man.
Meetings.
Busy.
All sorts of things going on. Too busy for a MAFS reunion dinner party.
He's forgotten his roots, but that's okay.
Perhaps we'll be able to get him on we are going to recap the second instalment of this extravaganza as well. That will be next week. So it was a reunion of mostly just season 5 and 6.
Season 5 and 6, yeah.
Arguably the two best seasons we've ever had. The one thing I took away from this, actually I took many things, but the first thing that really hit me was how many of these amazing iconic characters were all in the same season. I felt like there were 5 or 6 seasons worth of characters, you know, that like Jessika was, one of the power characters in one season and Cyrell was a power character in another and Martha was but they were all in the same season.
They were all in the same place. Incredible casting.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like the fact that Troy was in the same world as them. Like I feel like Troy was his own feature film that I saw on a plane somewhere. It feels so like otherworldly. Great to see them again.
It was so great also to see Troy brushing his teeth again and it was new footage.
It was.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. And then I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he was wearing a darker shirt and was at a different angle and there were subway tiles on the wall the first time round. And I was correct. I went and checked. And yeah, all new footage. He really leaned into the teeth brushing.
Did he get any kind of like Colgate deal or anything out of that?
I'm sure that a brand wants to align.
The passion with which he does it.
But it's actually, look, I don't want to get mumsy on it, but that's not really the best way to brush your teeth. You know, you've got to go gentle, round movements around the gum line. Otherwise, you're just going to wear down your gums.
Oh, okay. Well, what about how everyone's getting their teeth ground down now so they can get veneers?
Into
Maybe
pegs.
he's doing that.
he's doing the...
brushing into pegs.
He's doing the budget version.
What are we doing?
Okay, I don't think we can go in chronological order because there's no narrative to this. We can just talk about the things that struck us as the night progressed. First of all, let's just have a reminder of who turned up to this reunion. There was Dean and Tracy, Cyrell, Innes, Jessika, Martha, Michael, Sarah, Nasser, Troy, Ashley, Mike, Charlene, Joe, Ryan, Lizzie and Sebastian.
Sebastian was the one that I was like, good on you, man.
I don't remember you at all.
I've never seen you before, but you look like you're making Lizzie very happy.
Well, actually, a few weeks ago they broke up, I think.
Oh, for God's sake.
So I don't know when exactly this was recorded, but they've since broken up. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they break up on the couch.
Is there a couch
next week? The next week's one is like a couch session. It's back in the therapist.
So you mean the experts are going to pretend for once that they're still experts and not just reading a literal script into the camera?
Unlikely.
Can we talk about just first impressions of seeing them all again? Because there's been a lot of changes.
Joe, who came in, and we all went, who's that?
Oh, it's Jojo.
It's Jojo.
It's Jojo.
Jojo with the jandals.
Both doing a little dance there.
She's, of course, halved in size, which there was a lot of comment about. Looks great, but also looked great beforehand.
Michael has shaved his head.
What do you think?
Hate it.
Oh, he's had such lovely hair.
Lush hair.
I mean, either way, I think he's great. 2 different looks. He can grow it back again,
He
presumably.
is extremely handsome.
It's funny because when I first saw him many moons ago, I wasn't that taken with him. But as the show progressed, I mean, Martha's definitely given him a bit of a shoe shine.
Yeah.
But he's quite a hottie.
He is a hottie. I also like that the most offensive thing he could call someone is a peanut. He's an ex-PE teacher, right? Like, I feel like he's just quite a wholesome guy.
Yeah, he's probably got those kind of automatic boundaries on so that he doesn't actually call a child a name that he really shouldn't.
You peanut, Nasser. Martha's dress, though.
I didn't love it.
I don't love it either.
I mean, maybe it's fashion and I don't understand it.
It was gappy. And not just in the intentional gaps.
You mean it was like, no, it didn't fit well.
It didn't fit well.
It didn't fit well, and it looked a little bit like something you'd throw on for a toga party.
It sat like armour on her almost, like it was like floating, which was surprised me for Martha.
Yes.
As the kind of glamazon Kim K of MAFS.
I
But
also do not like her hair blonde at all.
I know.
This is something you can change. So we have this kind of thing that, in terms of commenting on people's appearances, we'd obviously rather not do that. Everybody's beautiful. But if it's your hair and you're chucking in bad extensions or you're changing it to a colour that's like doesn't work for you, we'll let you know so that you can change it back again. If it's some other bodily feature that you can't change, then we love it.
It's fine. We can talk about the clothes. It's so much about it. Like, Jess wore a wedding dress.
She did.
In a lot of ways. It looked like Kay Hawkesby's wedding dress in many ways as well. Did you notice that?
Well, now that you mention it. But also, just begging for someone to throw wine on you when you're wearing white to a MAFS reunion.
Did you see how many really, really full glasses of red wine were just placed all over that table and they were like not being touched by anyone?
And
it was
yet,
incredible.
I think that Jess owes Cyrell, well, she needs to say thank you for not picking up a glass of red wine.
True.
It was white wine.
She was thinking about stains and
Yeah.
long-term effects. I thought it was water.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
I've got questions.
Okay, hit me.
Why were Sarah, Joe and Charlene even there? They offered almost nothing. I would have liked to have seen Heidi.
I would have loved to have seen Heidi. I hate the revisionist history on Heidi and Mike in that montage. Yes. I know that they added in some bad stuff at the end. The experts were shocking. The entire season. They never acknowledged the gaslighting, his manipulation.
That season was where I learnt what gaslighting was.
Amazing.
Just evidence. Night after night after night, it was like, there's an example of gaslighting, and there's an example of gaslighting, and there's an example of gaslighting. It was all coming from Mike. I think if they'd played the clip of when he went out to get them both dinner and the place that she wanted her dinner from was closed, and then he came back with dinner just for himself, and she's like, where's mine? He's like, oh, well, your place was closed, so I didn't get you any. I was like, if they played that, I feel like that sums up their entire relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest dick move.
I feel like they're just trying to protect themselves because they realised that the way they came across in the show was so different to how the public was seeing it, but it was kind of too late to go back.
Yeah.
But, God, if I was Heidi, you'd never want to go near that show again, right? You'd never want to sit with older Gunner Mike.
Heidi's in hiding.
Heidi in closet. One for the older Drag Race fans there. Troy was eating turkey in a little packet. Not good for the environment.
It was great in the opener when he was like, my name's Troy, I'm from season whatever it was, and I'm remembered for, I'm remembered for actually. And then they just had a montage of all his crazy stuff, like they're doing the push-ups when they were literally walking out on a date, and he was like, hang on, and goes back and does 100 push-ups.
Yeah, when he's like, you don't understand, I've had the same hair since I was a baby. And I
eating
buy
the tuna.
it. I feel like he was born with that hair.
I know. I mean, for so long we wondered if he was a plant and some sort of actor. He's not. And I'm so happy he's not. He was very happy to have lost a few pounds as well. And I think he thought that might win Ashley back. But she was not keen.
What was that thing he said to her? And he's like, your hair wasn't normally that frizzy or something. And they're like, it's not frizzy, Troy. It's curly. I love the way that Troy just dishes out compliments but does not know when to stop.
No.
Like, he just, when Joe walked in, it was like, first nice comment, but then he just kept being like, wow, so like, what size are you now? Are you like a model? Like, just really laying it on thick. Have you been to Hawaii? Was something he said to someone else. And I was like, I kind of love that.
I love it.
He's
too.
making up for all the poison in the show, I guess,
Yeah.
with just too much.
I'd like to see him back on the show. Bring him back for season 8. All those recaps were honestly an excellent reminder of just how fucking crazy this show is.
Yeah.
Brilliant, but it's so nuts. I would have liked to have seen Davina there as well.
And Sam.
And Sam. That would have been great. Things were very nice between Dean and Tracy. They're mates now. They chat on the phone.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has found Jesus.
Jesus. Seemingly in the last few weeks.
What was it?
He's like, I'm reading the Bible.
What was the question? Was it, have you been reading any books?
Ernest was like, I'm at uni. What are you doing?
How
He's
about
like,
you?
Reading the Bible, teaching the Bible. It's just a new thing.
He's all in. Do you think it's or is he like, I'll go on and come across as the good guy and maybe I'll even net myself some chicks as this new kind of Christian reformed...
I believe it. I mean, it's as weird as him being a rapper. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. He wasn't a rapper, clearly. He fancied himself as a rapper. And
he can
again,
be a Christian rapper. Does that happen?
Australian rap is, like, very, very bad.
Is he Azalea? Oh my God. Who am I talking? Who's that person?
Iggy Azalea. I feel like he could probably have a rap career in the Christian music scene, for sure.
Good luck to him. Oh my God.
Now, we haven't even said the C word yet, except for when I read out the names of everyone who's there, but it's Cyrell. She has had a baby with Eden from Love Island. I remember at the time that news coming out, we probably talked about it on the podcast. What a crazy pair.
I don't know much about him or Love Island. I didn't watch it. What's his
He went quite
vibe?
far. He was with a girl called Erin, and they went quite far through, and they seemed pretty besotted with each other. But obviously, that didn't work out. Now, Jessika very much used her time at the dinner party to plead the innocent, to say, I'm not going to get involved. I've grown up a lot in the last, 18 months or however long it's been, and didn't want to get into any biffo with Cyrell. And it really wasn't clear what had happened between the two of them that was causing so much tension. Because one thing I will say for Cyrell, she's absolutely a bulldog. She just will go and go and go. And if she's got a bone to pick, she ain't putting it down. But usually she's got a good reason for it. I have a huge soft spot for Cyrell.
Same.
I think she can smell the trash.
Yeah.
And she's not going to be fooled by anyone. But also, we don't really know what happened behind the scenes. Now, I've since found out that Eden had a fling with Jessika prior to him getting together with Cyrell. That kind of then being a precursor to Jessika going online and saying that Cyrell was using the baby to trap Eden, basically.
She said that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Jessika.
She'd baby trapped Eden. That combined with the fact that she'd had a little relationship before they got together kind of makes it bigger.
That's a bit bad. Yeah. I wonder why, because that came up a few times. Like, there was a thing between Cyrell and Lizzie as well, where there's something that's clearly happened on social media, or why don't they kind of incorporate that into the storytelling of the show a bit more? Because it's very confusing if you don't read the Daily Mail every day or live in Australia, I think.
Maybe, I don't know, but maybe there's something along the lines of the contestants saying, I'll come on, but only if. Only if you don't bring up that specific... I don't know. They don't seem like the kind of people that are worried about what they say.
Here are my conditions. It's very important I maintain my stellar reputation. Before we get real into the dinner party, I want to play a game with you, Jane.
Okay.
And the game is called Whose Job Is It Anyway?
Oh my God.
So I was writing down the jobs.
Okay.
So we'll start off easy. Business Development Manager.
Is it Mike?
No.
Is it Ryan? No, it's not Ryan. It's definitely not Ryan. Sebastian. No. God, I've said Dean? Troy.
Yes, it's Troy. I haven't got all of them here.
This
I'm
is gonna be
starting off
very
with just
boring
easy.
for everyone at home.
No, they're playing along. They're loving it. Marketing strategist,
Charlene.
Tracy. Cosmetic tattoo artist.
Hang on. Tracy is not... Okay. Cosmetic tattoo artist. Oh, okay, I'm going to say Sarah.
Mike.
Oh,
He tattooed
yes!
his bald head on.
That's right. I remember seeing that now and being surprised.
I'm obsessed with thinking about Mike going, toot, toot, toot. This is Mike Gunner gun. Tattoo gunner. University student.
Oh, well, we know that that's in us.
Social commentator.
Okay, that's Nasser. I saw that as his job description. I was like, how do I get that job?
Influencer.
That'll be Jessika.
Influencer.
There will be Martha.
No.
Cyrell.
No.
Lizzie.
Yes. Digital talent.
Oh, my God. This is too much. Ashley?
No.
Who?
That's Martha.
Oh, my God.
And so what I want to know is what's the difference between influencer and digital talent?
Absolutely nothing except for one has more stigma to it.
That's the end of whose job is anyway.
Oh, I loved
and
it.
there's comedian as well. But
Comedian is Ryan.
Comedian's Ryan, who didn't really get a lot of words in
No.
for someone who is a professional comedian.
He
allegedly.
needed Davina to be there.
Yeah. All right. Let's get onto the party.
Come on, let's go for the party.
Come on. Slow mo.
Oh dear. Troy's first to arrive, then Joe came in, and they then became the welcoming committee for everyone else who followed. Innes came in and no one from her season was there yet. So there's a lovely moment where she's sitting on the couch and she's just like, her face is just saying, I hate these people. But ultimately, she didn't fire off anything like I thought she was going to in the dinner party.
No.
She wasn't really a central part of any of the drama.
If Sam had been there, things would have been different.
Oh,
I
very
feel.
different.
I don't recall. Did she actually kick off a lot? Or was she just kind of like, I'm horny, and would just go and do her thing and just be kind of horny and quiet at the dinner table?
I think she kicked off at a few dinner parties,
Oh, okay.
for sure, like when she was approached by people or confronted by people. Who was it she was originally with?
Oh, Bronson.
Bronson, oh, that's right. Hello, Bronson.
We have to get the eyebrow piercing out, please. The forgotten soldiers of MAFS, your Bronsons, your Micks. I was thinking about Mick a lot. I love Mick.
I loved Mick too.
But remember, he botched it for himself. We were talking about that when we were watching it. He could have been the hero of the show, but then I think he turned and said some
he did some
bad
cancelable
things.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not full cancel, but just maybe postponement. Can we introduce the concept of postponing people instead of cancelling
postponed until
them?
further notice?
Because cancel culture, you know, there's some people that fall just shy of that line. If they just be postponed.
Postpone.
Yeah.
It's rain check.
Okay. Oh, Tracy's pregnant. Forgot to mention. She's with child
To whomst?
to an old boyfriend that she reconnected with.
Oh, okay.
Troy and Carly, in case you didn't catch on, that didn't go anywhere. I just wanted to say Ashley's line, which is my Botox lasted longer than their relationship.
Amazing line.
I've got like pretty much no notes from the dinner party from here on in, so it's all over to you,
The
Alex.
dinner party was the whole thing, Jane.
All I remember is Nasser's speech.
Or lack thereof. Well, Cyrell walked in and went, the bitch is back.
Yeah.
It was just like, as it unfolded, I wasn't really surprised by anything that happened the whole time. It was like a pantomime
Yeah.
of these characters. You know exactly what they're going to do almost.
You absolutely knew that Cyrell was going to pour wine on Jessika. And so I was somewhat disappointed when it wasn't red wine. I felt let down.
But I don't know, when did things start to kick off? It was just Nasser, right? It was all built around Nasser.
I'm thinking of doing a speech to welcome people to this lovely gathering because I bring life to a party. That's what people want.
Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, God, Nasser.
I'd like to say just a few words.
You've said too many words, if anything. Boo. Tough crowd.
When I first heard about this,
No one cares, mate. No one cares. You've spoken out about every person in this room. Seriously, sit down. No one wants to hear it.
If you've been following Nasser online, on social media, he just goes around absolutely laying into everyone.
He said that Ryan was living out of his car just because there was a photo of Ryan like moving some stuff out of the boot of his car.
He's called a whole bunch of relationships fake, but the best bit is he goes on, he's got like a bunch of Instagram accounts, and sometimes he's accidentally like logged in as his official account but thinks that he's one of his troll accounts, and it'll be like, hey, Nasser's a nice guy, I don't know, you know, like he'll defend himself.
everyone hates Nasser, everyone hates Chris, everyone hates Nasser, and him standing up and saying a non-apology.
You're now at the time where you can actually just stand up and apologise and take ownership of your action. Just apologise and we'll take it.
No,
Oh, Nasser.
I don't need to put up with this shit.
Bye.
Bye. So he left the building. I loved it. I loved every second, but I was also like, I wanted him there for the whole thing.
I know. I'm sad they kind of like blew it so early. I loved when he was he's like, it's not a reunion. It's attack Nasser.
Oh, what? You mean this bit?
They don't want to hear it. They can all piss off. I don't need this shit. I don't need to be here with this some stupid reunion bullshit. It's not a reunion. It's an attack Nasser. I'm not going to put up with it. Do you know what? They're plebs. Nobodies. I'm a rock star. I'm the people's celebrity. I am Mr. Reality. I don't need to be here. So they can kiss my Arabic hairy ass.
Incredible exit. I would also like to, did you notice when he was like taking off his mic pack and talking about attack Nasser, there was a giant bottle of what looked like piss. Just right there, like in a big drink bottle.
No, I didn't notice.
I had some questions. It's either piss or it's Mountain Dew, and Ben Thomas is the only one who knows the answer to that.
Wow. So many people are missing so many of the things that we're saying because they don't listen.
That's why you have to listen to all the podcasts.
Episode of every podcast.
I know that at least Ben Thomas will like that, and
yeah,
that's kind of all that matters at this point.
Okay, hey, when are you going to pull out your surprise, by the way?
Oh yeah, so I've reached out to Nasser because I have his telephone number, as many people will know. I messaged him this morning.
Oh my God.
Hi Nasser, it's Alex from The Real Pod in New Zealand here. We're recapping the MAFS reunion. Anything you'd like to say to Kiwi fans? Reply in less than a minute. Absolutely, call me.
Oh my God, are we going to call him? Are we going to call him?
Hold on, the conversation continued. I said we were recording in an hour or so. In the meantime, I'm curious to know what emojis you would use to sum up your MAFS experience.
What have we got?
And he replied, I'm Mr. Reality and the only celeb that matters. And I was like, thanks. I meant emojis and then just sent a few emojis. And he said, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. He's probably just sitting back thinking about what emojis he's going to use. And then he just followed up, king sitting on my throne. Just the words. Still just the words. King sitting on my throne, telling it how it is. It was tiring and I didn't find love. And I said it did look tiring, Nasser. And he said it was. And as of 2 minutes ago, are you calling me? Or no?
Did he just send that 2 minutes ago? Okay.
My question is, do we ring Nasser? Do we ring the troll?
We can't not, right?
I'll just ring and I'll say we'll keep it really...
We're tight for time, Nasser.
Should I just put it on speaker?
Yeah.
Hello, my Kiwi friends.
Hi, Nasser.
Kia ora, Nasser. How are you today?
I'm bloody fantastic. I tell you, fantastic. Have you seen the show? Is the show on this weekend, apparently?
We've seen part one of the dinner party.
Okay, so the part one where I storm out?
Yes, and you say that you're Mr. Reality.
Which is true, which is all true. Mr. Reality, and she's all true, and they are plebs. And they baited me. I tell you, they baited me. What happened was that I knew it was going to happen in a sort of some way or another. I knew that, but I didn't know that it was going to be that extreme.
Was there anything that was left out of what we saw?
Yeah, it was the fight between Cyrell going at Martha. They made Martha to be the queen because she's on that dumb show, The Celebrity Apprentice. So they made her out to be the goody-goody. But let me tell you something, girls, and put this in your podcast. Are the worst of all. They are the I have ever seen in my life.
Let's just go beyond MAFS for a second. Like, what have you been doing? What do you do when Nasser wakes up? What do you do?
Well, I got to keep my body tuned for the ladies. So I go and I train every morning. I go training every morning and then I surf. I do a couple of hours of surfing. And then I have a coffee. Really, that's about it. I get on the internet. I do a lot of interviews now. I do like a lot of media, a lot of radio stuff people call to get quotes just about reality, basically, reality shows. I've come to now be like the go-to guy. Like, what do you think of, this? What do you think of The Bachelor? What do you think of that? That's what it's come to now.
Yeah, well, you're our go-to guy. If we were to offer you the opportunity to apologise to the rest of your MAFS mates. Is there any reconciliation there on your part?
There is no way, the only way I would apologise if God came in front of me, appeared in front of me and said, Nasser, I'm God and I'd like you to apologise. That's the only way I would apologise. They are losers, they are fakes, they are people that sell stories, try to get headlines, but there is no way, because you are talking to the king of media, the king of reality. Those people are fake. I'm straightforward and noble. There's no way I will apologise to them. And I said that to them at the reunion, but they didn't show that, unfortunately.
All right. Well, hey, Nasser, it's been an honour to be in the court of the king of reality television. Good luck with your surfing and your coffees. We'll maybe talk to you again sometime.
Well, I hope so. Enjoy the rest of it.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Nasser.
Thanks,
Enjoy the rest
Nasser.
of your day. See you. Bye.
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 Now, we had to edit some of that out.
Yes.
Because Nasser got nasty.
Nasser got
real nasty.
That's why I almost didn't want to ring.
It's nice to hear about his workouts and going for a surf.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty nice life, apart from the constant online trolling, which he must know in the back of his mind is not a sustainable career.
I mean, he's done quite well out of it so far, though, right? I mean, we're still saying his name, and that's all he wants.
I know, but that's not cash.
He's not making any money. The thing is, he's so easy to get hold of, and he's so keen to talk that it makes his commentary worth literally nothing. You know what I mean? There's no exclusivity about it.
That's true. But hey, you know what? Dean's just got into Jesus. So maybe if Dean could have a chat to old God.
Yeah. Get him
come
to come down.
Come down.
Come down from
those,
on high.
you know, those stairs that you see. The big stairs going to the clouds. He'll walk down those.
To be fair, I don't actually know how it works, you know? But Dean's on it.
Dean's on the case.
Oh,
hilarious.
wow. I'm kind of
sweating.
reeling. That's crazy. What an unusual character.
It is so odd for just him to be so accessible. Like when we were sitting on the couch, Joe was like, is that the guy that called me John Lemon on Instagram? And I was like, yeah, it is. It's just weird to be watching him, you know, on television.
So accessible and so slanderous.
He's a social commentator. He is the media.
Just look, the reason I know you all want to know what he said, but we can't tell you because then we are all going to jail.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be complicit.
Not even God will help us at that point. All right. What else happened? Lizzie and Cyrell made up over something that we didn't know happened.
I assume it was kind of some sort of maybe Lizzie backing Jess up on something or telling Cyrell to calm down about something, and then it just got kind of going from there. You know, I feel like I don't know if there was anyone bigger. I don't know what I'm saying at all. I have absolutely no idea.
But it wasn't something that happened on the show.
If it happened on social media, it probably wouldn't be that hard to find out, but I didn't bother trying.
I can't be bothered with that. If you don't have an Instagram account, it is bloody hard to look at that website. They lock you out after 3 goes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Need to get back in there. I also loved how it's like so clear. They're so self-aware. Like when Cyrell was talking about how she was about to get up and like confront thing, that she was like, sit back, get your red wine, get your popcorn, like directly talking to the audience.
Yeah.
It's like incredible.
Yeah.
It's so beyond natural, you know, which is great.
There was a lot of foreshadowing, obviously, in the whole lead up to the big event, which, again, for me, the big event was just Nasser's choice quotes. But for the producers, it was Cyrell bubbling away, slowly, until she popped a vein.
Blew a gasket. Troy sat down next to her and was like, are you having a good reunion? And Cyrell's like, nah, I'm pissed off. Just immediately, unprovoked. You know, like she clearly brought her own stuff to the table.
She, right from the word go, in her pre-roll, when she was in the car, she was like, I'm a woman on the mission. She's not just there to stir shit up for stirring shit up's sake. She's not like, I'm going to go and have some fun. She wanted to go and deal to Jessika for things that had happened, not on the tally.
And again, it was like as soon as Cyrell stood up, even the experts were like, uh-oh, as soon as you know, it's like, she's behind you, Jessika. She's like, I'd like to confront you about certain issues that have pissed me off. Just like perfect. It's like she had a script and she was just reading off it. But Jess didn't take the bait.
She didn't.
Because she's changed. She's got short hair now, you know?
You could see like flickers of the old Jess kind of behind the eyes, desperately wanting to claw out. I think it took a lot of restraint for her not to respond. Because she kind of started to, a little bit, and then she kind of just like got up and walked away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Cyrell was doing the like, oh, go sit next to Martha.
Yeah, puppet on a string, doing like insane puppet move. And there was that incredible bit where like Cyrell was like coming at Jess, and then it kind of like panned, and Martha was just like lining her lips in her compact. It was just like, oh, what are we watching? It was so good.
I only realised for the first time watching this that I've never thought about where the cameras are on this. It's not like a one-sided table where they're like the Last Supper all lined up on one side and the cameras. I feel like if it was done in I was going to say if it was done in New Zealand, but of course MAFS has been done. Oh, it just gets eclipsed by the Australian version of the show. It really does. But they must be cameras on little, poles or something.
Doohickeys. You see guys sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of guys roving around, but the number of cameras that they have focused on people to capture everything, they must have some stationary ones, like the ones they use in One Born Every Minute. Like, there's not someone in the room.
So they just set up a camera.
They have camera, like a robot camera that sits on a wall.
Yeah.
It sits on a pole in a room, and they can kind of move it up and down the pole, tilt and pan.
All right.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
Zoom in.
Have you worked in
zoom
television?
out. I might have done. Did I mention that I lived in America as well?
Yeah, but we broadly don't really see much of that, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And even when they're kind of following them, it doesn't even feel that sort of hasty or anything. Like when Jess is walking away, it's sort of like, oh yeah, there's a camera just ready to follow Jess.
There's a guy with a steady
floating
cam
around.
just standing by the door. I think without having a massive crew presence in the room and serving them actual dinner is served. They get food, they get wine. It does kind of feel like it's probably reasonably like some sort of actual dinner party.
Yeah.
Rather than a very staged set thing. I don't know. You've worked behind the scenes on the telly.
Except, why is it that they're always just eating a single green bean? I feel like that's all you see when you see them eating, is like, or like a broccolini. I just want to see more about the food.
Right. I mean, me too.
Have I talked about this before? Fusion. Because I reckon, don't you think it looks like the MasterChef building? It's a big brick building. But what if you had MasterChef shooting downstairs, MAFS upstairs?
Oh!
They run the dinners
Yes!
up to thing, and I don't know what happens next, but it's a work in progress. It's in development with me.
Perhaps when the ratings slide for both of those shows, they can become greater than the sum of their parts.
And all the MasterChef contestants are single as well. This is copyright, by the way.
I wasn't really waiting for someone to get together because it was pretty apparent by the time they all walked in and said their hellos. But I was hoping there'd be some reveal of like Mike and Jessika being together or something like that, because they got kind of pally. Like in their season, they butted heads a bit, but then they also seemed kind of close. There was this weird tension between them.
That's right.
Perhaps
he said something about her face, didn't he? Wasn't he really mean?
Yeah, he was really mean. Yeah. But anyway, that didn't happen.
No. Slightly disappointed.
It was slightly, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't kind of produce that or try to make that happen in any way, because that would have been fun for me.
And there's no more surprises, right? Like part 2 it's the same cast.
It's the same cast. I guess, the experts have witnessed the dinner party and then they'll talk to them about it. The counselling sessions have never been the most exciting part of the show for me, particularly because, as we alluded to, they don't seem to really go in as hard on the dicks as they should. Oh, Alex.
Sorry.
The king dingalings. They don't call people to account as strongly as they should.
No.
And so you wait in anticipation of these sessions and wait for people to get their comeuppance, and it doesn't happen. And I always end up feeling just like frustrated.
I wonder if they, like, dream scenario, they wanted to do it in front of a live audience and have more of like a woman tell all thing or something. I almost want to hear from the public asking people questions. I
honestly just had like visions of Jeremy Kyle and like Cyrell's brother running in, running onto the stage.
Jeremy Kyle sits down on the step,
shakes his head.
It's all happening. Did anything else happen? Jess was crying a lot. I actually felt for her. Like, have you ever had a drink thrown on you?
No, I mean,
I've only got a little bit left. But I would imagine, like, that must be extremely upsetting.
Yeah.
Someone spat on me when I was a kid.
Someone spat in my mouth once, so that was an accident.
Jane, it
was an accident.
This is a... Jane!
It was when I was working in PR for a record label, and it was a program director from a radio station.
Yeah.
we went in for the hello hug, and as I was like, hi, with my mouth open as I'm saying it, hi, and he was like, hello, whatever it was that he said, a bit like spittle came out.
Oh,
and
a fleck.
He didn't like...
A fleck Vaughan and Megan.
I just want to clarify, it was none of those people. Well, no, it felt like more than a fleck.
Like
it was more than a fleck.
I thought you meant
no.
straight in.
No one hoiked in my mouth.
Someone hoiked on my leg.
That's gross.
We're at the Greytown Memorial Baths, and it was Daniel Oakley. I'm calling him out right now.
Daniel Oakley.
He spat very high from a fence, and it hit my leg with...
So was he aiming for
great
you, or
gusto.
were you just in the way?
I think he was aiming for me.
Oh, have you got his number?
No, I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, we should
hit him up.
Get him on the pod.
But,
I mean, I'm
that's
quite
worse,
serious.
especially in this climate. Like, for God's sake.
No.
But a whole
thank
drink,
you.
it must just be such a shock, especially on television, especially in full makeup and all
I
that.
don't think it would be that much of a shock.
You don't reckon?
Not in
No,
that
even just, like,
particular
a physical
scenario.
shock.
I'm so tempted to tell you to throw your drink on me.
I would if it was safe.
But we've got a lot of electrical equipment around here. Also, I would know it's coming, so it wouldn't be the same. But I think anytime Cyrell stands up, everyone's like, the wine's going to go.
Put your poncho on.
Anyway. No, I don't think much else happened.
I think that's where it ended. Troy had good commentary on that fight. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I had to see that." Which I think kind of sums it up, You feel good at first and then you start to feel really bad. And that's MAFS.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us for this little bonus episode of The Real Pod. We'll have another bonus episode to recap the exciting counselling session of the MAFS reunion next week.
If you're God, get in touch.
Yes, actually, that would be a good development. We'd love to be able to update you all that God came down from on high, caught Nasser while he was out bringing in the wheelie bins in his underwear, and had a quick word. We'll update you on that situation, that developing story, when we talk to you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spinoff. You can help us keep all of The Spinoff's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.